Well, the real thing, it's better than the real test because the real test, they just send you your score.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
you're, but if you're preparing for the test and you want to, you want to know like, okay, so I got a 6 for my reading. Which questions did I get wrong? It doesn't tell you.
So I was doing a bit of preparation for this last week, and I wanted to, because I don't know if this is a good thing for people to do. So
Mm.
there is something called the IELTS progress check. And this is I believe, a version of the IELTS exam, or maybe you can tell me a little more about it. First, I want to know kind of what is it for, and do you recommend, let's say someone who isn't particularly interested in using IELTS to go to university or something like that, they don't need it. Would you recommend the IELTS progress check as a good substitute for taking the IELTS? I'm assuming it's cheaper. I could be wrong about that, but this is what it looks like on the website. They go over kind of what it is. They have a video, and you can do academic or general training. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about how it works.
Yeah, so it's basically now. It's first of all, it's not a replacement for taking the test itself. The result that you get is not kind of usable. You can't send it to a university and say, "Look, I got a really good score." It's not that level.
Yeah.
What it is basically is you go online and you have sort of 3 hours. Please excuse the dogs barking in the background. Um, you have about 3 hours, and they put you through the full IELTS test as it will be when you really take it. So you do the listening section, you do the reading section, the writing, and they even do a speaking section. The speaking, though, is with a recording of an examiner, so it's not actually live.
It's
Um,
recording you between the recording. So you listen to the recording of the examiner, then you speak. That feels more like that feels more like TOEFL.
yes, it is sort of TOEFL-y. And then they'll mark it. They'll have people mark it, and they send you
So it's
your
marked
sort
by
of
a human. It's not automated.
the as far as I understand, the writing section and the speaking section are marked by humans. I think the other two parts are probably because they're just multiple choice, so they're probably
No,
marked by a
definitely.
computer.
It would be
Yeah,
stupid to have
I
a
would
human do
assume
that. Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cheaper. It's $50, $50 to take it.
As opposed
Um,
to
the IELTS test itself is hundreds of dollars.
hundreds of
I can't
dollars,
I can't remember
hundreds of
exactly. The
Canadian
price
dollars.
differs. The price differs in different countries, but I
Do
know
you know
in
the
China.
difference between these two, the IELTS Progress Check Academic and Progress Check General Training?
Yes, so those are the two different tests or the two main tests that IELTS do. Academic is usually for people who want to study abroad or who want to like get a good job in their own country by taking the test and showing it as a proof that they've got good English. And the general is mostly for people who want to emigrate. So they want
Got
to
it.
go and either work or live in another country.
So this is for A, people who are practicing for the real thing, and B, people who don't need the results for anything but want to understand their level accurately, or assess where they are maybe in their weaknesses.
Yes, I'd say those two things are true. So, yeah, if you are practicing and you want a very intense kind of real practice, this would be a good thing to do. And yeah, also if you just want to get a feeling for like what your English level is and you've got $50 and 3 hours to spare, then yeah, that would be good. What it isn't good for is to understand why. So let's say you take the test and you get kind of an not great score for your speaking or for your writing. They will send you some feedback, but it's very general feedback. It's kind of like copied and pasted feedback.
How does
So,
that differ from the real thing?
well, the real thing, it's better than the real test, because the real test, they just send you your score.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
you're, but if you're preparing for the test and you want to, you want to know, like, okay, so I got a 6 for my reading. Which questions did I get wrong? It doesn't tell you.
Right.
So in that case, you'd be better off just getting one of the practice books, doing the questions, looking in the back of the book at the answers, marking it yourself, and then finding yourself which questions you got wrong. For writing and for speaking, you could write something by yourself, or you could write it in the test, in the real test, and they'll give you the score, but they won't tell you
So
why
there
you
you want to
got
have
that.
maybe a tutor. You want to get a few lessons with a tutor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really do the job of letting you know right now you're at this level. To get to the level that you want to be, these are the things you have to do. This is what you have to improve. For that, you do need a teacher. And actually, Luke, it's funny. This this feels like we prepared it, but we actually haven't. But that is one of the services that we provide as well. We do a service of marking people's writing and giving them like very specific feedback about what was wrong and what they should do to improve. And we
Who's
also
we?
do me and last minute English.
Okay. But I don't think that would they find that in your in your Udemy course?
No, that's for that you have to send me an email, or you can send me a message on Udemy.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I think we'll include my email address under the video as well, if that's all right, Luke.
We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So
A
look
bit
out for
later.
that. That is
Yeah.
interesting, though. So in some ways, it's better than the real thing because at least you're getting some analysis, but it's fairly broad. So you have to know what it's for if you're taking it. To me, $50 for human checking and getting a score and knowing your weak areas and strong areas generally is not bad,
Mm.
especially because a person is checking it and giving you a score. That seems on par with some of the other things out there, like the Versant test, and it seems like it might even be a little bit more accurate. But if you were to sort of have the ultimate package of maybe doing that, taking your results to a tutor, doing a few lessons with a tutor, 5, 10 lessons with a tutor, and you had a practice book, if you were doing all of those at the same time, you'd have kind of the complete prep
Yeah,
package for the real thing.
that's a winner. That way is
That's a winner.
definitely the best, the
Yeah.
best option.